Hello, this is Ann Poirier from Shaping Perspectives, A Woman's Way to Joy. And we're going to talk a little bit today about the benefits of drumming. So this little piece of, this little PowerPoint is to show you that drumming is much more than just a good time and having fun. There's a lot of great health benefits that come from it. And the first time that I did drumming, it was really the first time that I was free in my body. There was a complete disconnect between exercise and what I was doing, even though I was moving my body and exercising. I wasn't thinking about calories or my body or how hard I was working. I was just having a lot of fun. And because of that, I really started to do a lot more drumming and started to educate people in the benefits of drumming, as well as just bringing drumming to them to see that, for them to see that it's really a wonderful way to exercise your body, but it's also so much fun. And being fun and enjoyable is really one of the biggest keys. If you like something, you will continue to do it. If you do not like something, you'll do it for a little while possibly, but eventually it kind of goes off the wayside. And drumming is one of those things that I love to do. I have a smile on my face as I do it, and I love the feeling that it gives my body. So I hope that you will find a little bit more information in this PowerPoint about drumming, give you a little bit more understanding about what it's all about. And the key is here that drumming really is for everyone. Anybody can do it. So thinking about any age group, any ability, it really actually helps in a lot of different diseases that are out there, mood disorders, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. I'm really thinking about releasing stress, ADHD, and PTSD, research on that because of the release that it has. It releases energy, and it kicks up our endorphins, our feel-good hormones. So it does a lot of different things. So anyone can do it. You can do it seated. You can do it standing. You can do it high intensity, low intensity, fast or slow. There's just lots of different ways that you can do drumming. So it's for everyone. I have taught it to preschoolers, kindergartners, teenagers, seniors, women of all sizes, men, a particular couple struggling from cancer. So, I mean, I've seen it improve health in all aspects of life. Drumming reduces stress. We are living in such a stress-filled society today. The speed of things that move from one thing to the next. We're trying to do too many things at once. We have lots of demands on us, lots of pulls. And what drumming does is it releases endorphins, those feel-good hormones, and that helps fight that negative feeling of stress. It keeps you grounded and in the present moment so that you're not thinking about your worries or your fears or what's next or what's happening tomorrow or what happened yesterday. It's all about being right in the present moment. And there's music and there's joy and there's this release. And it also increases, which we'll talk about in a little bit further, the alpha brainwaves are the brainwaves that kind of slow your brain down. It elicits the relaxation response. And alpha brainwaves are, I'm going to talk about them a little bit more, but they are kind of like after you do something, if you had to, say, do a speech or something and you got all anxious about it, and then after you're done, you're like, oh, phew. So that's kind of what the alpha brainwaves do, and I'll talk a little bit more about them. But that reduction of stress in a society, in a life that is so stressful, is huge, and doing it in a fun way. This is very interesting. It boosts the immune system. So there is an increase in the lymphokine, the killer cells that seek and destroy viruses and cancerous tumors. So I worked with a man and his wife for over a year with drumming, and I do believe that it helped prolong his life. He was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and they gave him maybe 6 months, and he lived well over a year. And we did drumming a couple of times a week with him, and I do believe that it really boosted his immune system. He felt pretty good through all of his treatments and such. So, and this has been researched and studied, so there are research articles that confirm this. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about those, please feel free to be in touch with me, and I will make sure to get those articles to you. It releases negative feelings and emotional trauma. As I talked about in the beginning, drum therapy has been successfully used with patients suffering from PTSD, and it produces that emotional release, and a physical stimulus from the vibration of the drumstick hitting the drum. And I just want to read a quote for you. Drumming produces pleasurable experiences, enhanced awareness of preconscious dynamics, release of emotional trauma, and integration of self. Drumming alleviates self-centeredness, isolation, and alienation, and creates a sense of connectedness with self and others. Thus, drumming provides a secular approach to accessing a higher power and applying a spiritual perspective. And that comes from a research team that talk about rhythm, the social benefits of rhythm. And so there's a lot of research that has been done with rhythm and drumming and music. And this is when we do our drums class, it's a combination of all of those things. Physiological effects. Of course, there are physiological effects. We're moving our body. We're opening up our chest. We're moving our arms fast. We're moving our legs. It raises the heart rate, increases the blood flow, increases brain stimulation because you're thinking. There was a great study of a drummer named Clem Burke, and he was the drummer for Blondie. And when they took his heart rate and his oxygen consumption over the course of a gig, a 90-minute show, and compared it to a 90-minute soccer game, it was exactly, well, it wasn't exactly, but it was very, very comparable. His heart rate stayed between 150 and 170 beats per minute, and that was the same heart rate that was sustained by the soccer player. His was actually about 130 to 170. So there's a lot of physiological improvement from drumming just because of the movement of everything and the thought process that goes along with it. Hemisphere coordination. So this utilizes, when you drum, you utilize both the left and right sides of your brain at the same time. We have a rational side and we have a creative side. And if we can integrate them like we do in drumming, this can really help increase problem solving, right? And decision making. So think about the fact that we're creating more and better neurological pathways. That's that neuroplasticity of the brain. The more that we use it, the more that it becomes second nature. If you start to dribble a basketball, we aren't very good at it, but as we do it more and more, we get better at it. The same thing happens with drumming. You get better and better and better as you do it more. So there's this neuroplasticity that develops in your brain. And polyrhythmic activities are things where the right hand and the left hand and the feet are all doing different things, and it just creates this integration of the right and the left side of the brain. It's pretty interesting. Drumming helps the connection to self and others. It creates a powerful shared experience. Groups work together to achieve a common goal. I'm going to read you another quote from this article of the social benefits from rhythm. Drumming affects us physically, mentally, and emotionally in profound and uplifting ways. This is why people all over the earth have drummed in some manner throughout our history. In the past few years, studies have been conducted in hospitals and universities, and they have documented the health and healing aspects of drumming. Playing drums with a group of people relieves stress, increases vitality, and puts us in a state of clarity and heightened awareness that athletes will sometimes call the zone. So drumming is actually, that's the end of the quote, and so drumming is actually much like being an athlete, doing the same kind of movements over and over and over again and becoming better and better at them. So great connection with others. With that being said, there's this greater self-awareness, just feeling your space in time, this spatial awareness. How are we moving together? If I'm in a line of drummers, how am I moving, or a circle of drummers, how am I moving with the other people in this space? So you become aware of your physical body as well as what's going on between you and the drum. That feedback loop that comes from hitting the stick on the drum and how it responds and vibrates through your whole system. So there's a great development of your own personal self-awareness. It grounds you in the present moment. Here you are drumming in this class with a person next to you. It's interactive. There's music going. You're all moving together at the same time. You're firmly grounded right into the floor or the grass or wherever you're doing it. And so because of that, you're not thinking about what you have to do later, what you were worried about before you came in, what you said yesterday to somebody. You're really just right here, right now, doing this activity. So drumming pulls you right in so that here you are, right here and right now, moving your body, increasing your endorphins, starting to relax and feeling your body. And it helps lift your mood. Those endorphins we talked about before, right? Elevates your mood. You become to just feel better, those feel-good hormones. You're doing a shared common experience. There's a lot of research that connection is so important for healthy mood, healthy socialization, healthy emotional state. And then it elicits these alpha brain waves. And a couple of things that happen within the alpha brain waves that I want to share, it kind of brings you to this higher level of consciousness. So you have better concentration. There's this overall well-being that kind of comes over you. Higher levels of social competence and confidence. So, the more confident you become, the more competent you become, and that kind of creates this feel-good loop. The more competent I am, the more confident I am. The more competent I am, the more confident I am. These alpha brainwaves helps reduce the stress and aggression. It helps control the mood and emotions and thought process. It creates more joy, pleasure, and happiness. So we want these alpha brainwaves, and drumming is a way to get there. Meditation is a way to get there. Anything that we can do to increase these alpha brainwaves is great for us. And finally, it's just fun. And this is the gentleman that passed away a little while ago. But this is me and Mr. Ken. And we had a great time drumming together. There are so many wonderful benefits. I hope you found this interesting. And if you want any other research, please feel free to contact me. And also remember that we have the live drumming class starting Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be recorded, $49. I hope you'll join us. It's going to be a great time. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening in.